What a shocking list, Jeff. I mean, by the time we get to number one, people are going to either be complaining or celebrating.
I am on the celebratory side because I happen to pick up that book.
Ooh, stay tuned. Hit the subscribe. We do this video every single week, and we will till the end of time. Number 10 on the list is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 1. Now, the book is trailing down on our list, but it's hot as hell. We see 6 sales clearing $3,000. It takes at least 3 sales above the recent 12-month average to even qualify for this list. The 9.8 sold for $950. That's up 33%. This book was being secured for $600 to $700 just prior to the major announcement that there's not only going to be a movie that's going to be produced by Blumhouse, but that there's going to be an adult animated show. And did you see James Tynion in the parking lot of Third Eye Comics an hour after Deadline reported the news, just celebrating? I think it's the optimism that he is bringing to this status that's giving people confidence to purchase this collectible.
Well, and the fact that he's going to be involved somehow on the creative side. With his IP like this, you're going to want that, I don't know, genius back there behind the camera giving you some direction.
Number 9 on the list is Incredible Hulk 340, 13 sales, near $5,000 spent. We have hypothesized that a lot of the McFarlane books have been largely selling right now for inflated prices because people are trying to hit the CGC signing deadline. But let's take a look at the 9.8 because it's up 35%. Did someone overpay? It went for $13.95, Jeff. What do you think about that?
I mean, this is one of those auction books, right? So when you're in an auction, sometimes you just want to win. I mean, that's kind of where there's an upside to auctions, but just as much a potential downside because there's a lot of books that we're seeing that people are getting great deals on. This just happens to be an overpayment, and we say that with confidence because you can buy a 9.8 right now, a great-looking copy, on eBay for $12.50 and still make an offer.
And that was even for a white pager. Number 8 on the list is Transformers 1. Now, questionably a overpayment for $340, but for sure an overpayment on this next 9.8. Transformers number 1, 7 sales, $2,800 spent, largely because of the Energon Universe animated series announcement. A lot of animation stuff moving comics on this list this week in particular. Now, a 9.8 has been going for under $1,000 every month since March of this year. So let that sink in when I tell you that someone paid this last week $1,680 on a white page 9.8.
Yeah, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Clearly an overpayment. And again, that happens. So if you are buying this book, stick around that 12-month average. It's plentiful enough, but it deserves to always be one of those important books that you should own as a collector, especially if you're a kid from the 80s. Are you kidding me right now?
Is there any justification why someone would pay 80% more? I mean, I'm looking at the book. It did sell on Heritage. It is a clean looking copy, but even if it was cut so perfectly, I mean, we're talking a climb of near $700.
Yeah, I don't know why it would have sold for that. That doesn't make sense. And especially on a platform like Heritage, which is mostly known for vintage books, and a lot of things fall through the crack there in that time frame. So to see it go for what, I don't know, 70% more at least, I mean, I don't know how to explain that one.
Number 7 on the list. Let's put some respect on this comic's name. ASM 301.
Wait a minute.
And that's not 300. Not even on the list.
This book is never on this list, it feels like.
It should be.
And yeah, and we feel like it should be here more considering how much 300 is on here. It'd be nice to see a little bit of a balance.
Well, let's put this in perspective. I think this comic book largely gets the hype outside of the McFarlane love, specifically because of one grade point. We're talking the 9.8. When you look at the 9.6 of this book, it sells for just over $250. But the climb to 9.8, the average is like $1,500. That is an expensive book at a 9.8 when you compare it to the 9.6. That's a bigger gap than a 9.6 to 9.8 for a ASM 300.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at a 9.8 for an ASM 300 and 9.6, it's about 3 times the difference. For a 9.8 to 9.6 in a 301, it's 6-time multiplier. I mean, that just expresses to you how difficult this book is in a 9.8. And again, this is Todd McFarlane drawing Spider-Man, and it's kind of taking the old era of Spider-Man in his classic red and blues and bringing up to a current time frame now by a current artist and really just combining the two.
I mean, that's a really important thing I think people have underestimated. Yes, Todd McFarlane debuts Spider-Man in 298 and 299 and makes a landmark issue and debut in full of a character, anti-hero Venom. But he doesn't draw Spider-Man in the red suit till the end of issue 300. It's not until issue 301 that you get it on the cover. And even Todd himself has said multiple times he didn't even consider his first time drawing Spider-Man truly until he was in the red costume. This comic does not get enough love, especially when you compare the census count in grade to the book prior.
So do you think that it should be worth more across all grades? Or do you think it's fairly priced and just doesn't get talked about enough?
I think ASM 301 is absolutely undervalued. And let's just take a look at the 9.8 alone. ASM 300, it makes sense why a lot of people would get this book graded. But also, if you have a high grade ASM 301, you think you're not going to get that graded too? 9.8 count for ASM 300 as of today of the filming is 1,765 on the CGC census. When you look at ASM 301 at a 9.8, there are only 273 total copies.
Well, we're not even discussing the newsstand potential. I mean, the newsstand of that 301 is $3,000 for that book, while a 300 is about $7,000, give or take. So that discrepancy there is very interesting to see. So, I mean, can you imagine how rare a newsstand is?
A 9.8 went for $1,519 this last week, and the cheapest you can find one on eBay, white pager, is $1,550. I think someone paid a fair deal.
Number 6 is a Blue Chip Silver Age book. Actually, 3 weeks in a row now, we've had Blue Chip Silver Age keys. But Avengers #1. This book sold 4 times above the 12-month average this week for over $21,000 spent. Now, this book's from 1963. This is one of the first times really we get to see a team combine of superheroes and really joining or creating what will be a joined universe for Marvel back then, right? Because no one appears for the very first time here. We just get to see them all together, showing that there's something greater just than individual titles. And we also get to see like how prevalent Loki is. I mean, he is the villain on this cover. So at that time, you're using Loki because he's such an important character in the Marvel world at that moment.
7.5 for $11,100. I mean, we have 4 different sales that are all within 5 to 10% over the recent 12-month average. Just some, confident purchases, small percentages, but for a Silver Age book like this, I mean, that's a pretty substantial amount of money to pay.
And we wouldn't even see the X-Men appear till a year later. Another important team, but at least we got some first appearances there. And kind of a similar design and cover, right? Because you have Magneto in the corner on that cover, opposed to the Avengers one where you have Loki in the corner.
And they're both by Kirby.
And they're both by Kirby, exactly.
Well, stay tuned because we have a video coming out in the next couple days that includes this book on a list because the numbers are in. PSA books are currently selling, and we have enough data to put a versus video out. So if you want to see more of them, comment down below. Check out the video that's coming. You'll be able to find that on YouTube as well as Instagram on both of our pages because we'll collab the post. Number 5 on the list. I'm getting a little worried about this one. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. Amazing Spider-Man 50, first appearance of Kingpin. Near $8,000 in sales, and Ado went for $2,470. That's up 1%. This is what Vincent D'Onofrio said this last year. Is he lying? Actors tend to do this, but it doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. In regards to Kingpin entering the greater 616, the only thing I know is it's not positive. It's a very hard thing to do. For Marvel to use my character, it's a very hard thing to do. He says it twice because of ownership and stuff. Right now, I'm only usable for television series, different kinds of series, whatever it is, but not even a one-off Fisk movie or anything like that. It's all caught up in rights and stuff. I don't know when that would work out or if it would ever work out at all, actually.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know if I need to see Kingpin in movies. I don't know if I need him to have his own movie or show either. I don't think that's necessary. I think he's better supported by other heroes and really just playing a major role, but not to the point where he gets his own. I don't know if I would actually watch it, to be honest, as much as I would watch Maybe a Punisher by himself.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Is this guy crazy? While we move on to number 4 on the list. Oh, we talk about all the same books, Jeff. It's
Said
such
no one ever.
No one's ever said these are the hottest books in the world, dude. I mean, the thing that you got to consider when we talk about books that are constantly ranking high on the hot 10, it's because they earned their spot here. But it also means that there's a bigger conversation to be had, because if the IP is strong, what else underneath it is growing? And that's where you should be looking if you're not considering the book that we're actually talking about. Point in case. Number 4 on the list, Invincible number 1, 2003. Robert Kirkman, 9.8, going for $5,220. That is up 18%. Damn. Book is climbing. But there were a bunch of record-breaking sales this last week. Not enough to qualify for our Hot 10, but records nonetheless. And you can find those on Key Collector's runners-up list that comes out right around the time the Hot 10 comes out. It's a runners-up because they didn't quite earn their spot here, but they still had impressive sales. I want to hit you with a few of them today, Jeff. Take a look at this Finch sketch cover on Invincible Returns. We have a 9.8, last sold for the highest it ever did in 2024 for $3,000. This last week, a 9.8 hit $4,000. That's up 33%. Invincible Universe Battle Beast, John Boy Myers 1 in 100 foil. This book just came out over the last year. A 10.0 set a record in September for $512. That's up 17%, now hitting $600. Yo, that 1 in 100 you can secure for like $30. Invincible 9 and 10, both in a 9.6, are both up 6%, setting records this last week for the same price, $475. There are other Invincible books that broke records that we're not even talking about today. You got to download Key Collector Comics, use code TOM101, support the show, unlock a free two-week subscription of the app. And you need to look at all the IPs that you're interested in, because books are moving more than what we talk about on the show.
Number 3 is a debatable, likable cover. Some people don't like this cover. It's brown. It throws you off, but it's Fantastic Four number 50. The final of a trifecta, FF48, 49, and 50. This book sold 7 times above the 12-month average this week for $6,300. I don't really care for this book, but I get it. Johnny goes to college. We get back to kind of street-level battles.
This is when you get the ultimate nullifier and they take out Galactus. Dude, this is the battle between Silver Surfer and Galactus, dude.
Well, not just that. It's also the defying moment when Silver Surfer defies Galactus.
That's true. That's true.
This book sold in an 8.0 for $1,200. That's up 10%. And the 9.0 sold for about what it sells for, $3,000. That's up $5 above the 12-month average. Now, let's talk about some of the other surrounding books that we mentioned in this trifecta. FF48 actually sold for its lowest price it's sold all year. Now, this book, if many of you don't know, is extremely plentiful in high grade. So numbers with this are a little bit volatile because it trades hands very, very often in a 9.8 and 9.6.
But it's the first appearance of Silver Surfer, so people really want it. And yes, the cheapest it went for all year just happened in October for $35,099 for a 9.8 white pager.
And just to give you a comparison, the FF49 in a 9.2 sold for $6,000.
All right, and that book, although that happened this year, there hasn't been a higher graded copy that's sold in 2025. And I find that very curious. It's a tougher book to acquire in high grade, to your point. Thus, we didn't even see a higher graded copy sell when the FF movie debuted, which is kind of intriguing. The book is down about $900 when you compare it to last year's numbers, but a $6,000 sale is, pretty much what the book is worth.
We haven't seen a 9.8 sell of an FF50 since 2016, but we did see a 9.6 sell for this year, and it went for $18,000. Again, the 49 and 50 are extremely difficult in high grade.
Which brings us to number 2 on the list with the McFarlane Key, one of the most wanted Batman covers of the year easily, but not the most wanted. Stay tuned. We have Batman 423, that classic cape, classic book, getting ready for signatures. We have a bunch of different sales, but let's jump into different versions of this book because we have the direct market 9.8 selling for $1,700. That's up 3%. There's a second printing 9.8 that sold this last week for $400. That's up 8%. There is a third printing 9.8 that sold also for $400 for an increase of 5%. And then there's a newsstand version of this book, 9.6, that sold for $900, up 18%. And that's not even all the versions of the book. So maybe we can go through them to tell people what to look for so they know what they're hunting.
There's some quick identifying marks, okay? First print is going to have a Batman at the bottom logo,
That's
okay?
right.
That's clear and evident.
That's the direct market copy, mind you.
Exactly. The newsstand, barcode,
Yeah, you're looking for the barcode, unless it's the Canadian version.
which should be $1.
But it actually does have a dollar price, doesn't it?
Exactly. Now, you guys know where I stand on Canadian stuff, so we're not going to drill that any deeper. But where it gets complicated, sort of, is second and third print.
That's right. The bottom corner box, it actually says comics aren't just for kids in the UPC box, DC Comics specifically. And the third print also has that in the box. So if you're seeing those words in the box, you know you have a later printing, second or third printing. But the only differentiator between the two is what it says on the inside indica.
How dare you, Tom? Are you saying that people actually have to open up the book?
They have to check the copyright information. Hit the subscribe button. The number one hottest book in the world is not a golden age book. It's not a blue chip book. It's not a silver age book. It's not a bronze age book. It's not even a copper age. It's absolute Batman number freaking 1. Has this ever happened? Well, we've been covering the Hot 10 over the last couple years that we've been doing it together, where we've had a modern book that came out in less than, dude, we just hit the year mark. Absolute Batman came out in October 2024. Rank at number 1?
God, no. I'm just going to say no. If it doesn't pop in my head, then there was nothing that prevalent. That book may have been the book of 2024 and only 3 years into that, like the tail end of the year, and still possibly the greatest book released in 2024 and
this year too.
This year too.
And we're not even done with November. Let's take a look at it. 19 different sales qualified this book here because there's so many different versions, totaling near $4,000. The 9.8 direct sold for $220. That's up 98%. The Fernandez Akira variant, I remember when this debuted, 9.8 went for $679. That's up 87%. The Dracata foil variant, 9.8 is up 47%, going for $138. The Lee Virgin sketch variant went for $329 in a 9.8. That's up 9%. We can keep going. I think it's all about the hype. It's about the marketing. The book is stellar, but a book can only be so big if you don't have the right people talking about it. And the people that are talking about it are reading it, and the creators know this, which is why I think we've seen this swing happen over the last couple months specifically.
Can I tell you the type of confidence you have to have in a title to not start it off with the Joker and just know that you can build it to get to the Joker?
Is that why you think it's happening? Because that's my theory. Because January this year, this book was $100 at a 9.8. Wasn't even outselling New 52 Batman. By July, still $100 in a 9.8. Fast forward to when we get these solicitations, even before, actually, we were getting the sketches from the artist and Scott posting what Absolute Joker was gonna look like. And that's when things went bananas.
Yeah, I think we're getting to a point in comic books, and I've seen this slowly progressing where you're kind of crossing the normal like body shape style to almost an anime over the top style. And I think you're almost grabbing now a different audience that wants to see something grander, more sensational than just the standard that we've seen.
Well, on this very list, we talked about Sick Tick, adult animated show, Invincible, essentially pushing this IP to the stratosphere because of the animated show. Energon, Transformers, G.I. Joe, popping off because of the announcement of an animated show. Is there any surprise that people are talking about Absolute Batman needing an animated show?
No, absolutely not. The violence is so immense, and the power that you see behind every villain and character and the storytelling is resonating with more than just modern readers.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And of course, as always,
collect the old and gold and geek responsibly.
Enough said. All right, so I screwed up. I only did 2 giveaways last show, and I was supposed to do 5. So this coming trending list, we're going to do the 3 other giveaway winners for the David Nakayama Deadpool Batman variant that we promised to give away, because we're going to do all of our giveaways on the show. But also FF50 was on the list. I love this cover. Jack Kirby. I was the first one, with the help of Big Time Collectibles, we teamed up on this to bring that book to foil. First time in history on an exclusive. We're going to give 5 of those away on the trending video this next week. So all you have to do to be part of the 8 giveaways that we're going to announce is go to comictom.com, put your phone number in, join our SMS group, our text message group. That's how you keep up with all of our drops and how you can get giveaways now, forever, until the end of time.